welcome. Oh, welcome once again, kiddos, and strange people and oddities and weirdos and wackos and doodlittles and whoever. Welcome to the DooCast, the Shlicketty DooCast, Shlicketty doodly. I'm your host, Aaron Forsyth, and here's my partner in crime, Mike Anderson.
'Tis I here in the flesh, blessing you with my presence.
Above the orb of truth in the box of shame. Because Mike's not shot out of a cannon today like last week.
No.
Got some mail last week about the shot out of a cannon part, but that's okay. No, it's all right. We all get that way. It's fine. It's nice we can have Mike-centric episodes every now and then. You might have an Aaron-centric episode every now and then. You never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get.
I know. It all depends on how the pollens are pollinating.
The winds be blowing, the changes be changing.
Changing it, yeah. So what do we got? Oh, well, so let's see. We added a few more. Tune in, I don't know, to try to get some likes and subscribe. I don't know how this is working. We haven't even technically gone to press. We've just been making episodes. This is probably episode 10. 10, oh, 10, okay. Well, 10's a good number. So it's safe to say I'm not going to say got it down, but we're getting there. We're getting it down. I don't know.
Making leaps and bounds every time, getting less and less rambly. Right.
Unless we've had vodka or... But although, like normally, I'm kind of shot out of a cannon and all slicked up because on Starbucks. But I told you about last week, the Starbucks ordeal, because the Starbucks fucked me.
Actually...
You went and peed during my Starbucks.
I did, and when I was editing it today, I didn't actually watch the whole episode.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I just did tops and tails, and I'm like, okay, cool. It's good with the ins and outs.
Oh.
I didn't watch the whole episode. So I didn't hear the Starbucks story.
Yeah, well.
All right, we'll roundabouts back to it. Okay, but so I see you don't have the coffee. What are you doing now?
Oh, this is bullshit. See, I don't like a lot of sugars anymore, you know. So I used to be keto, so I had no sugars. Then I started going Cheeto, which, all right, I thought I could tilt the system and beat the system. Well, shoot ahead 6 months, 9 months later, I'm fat again, and I'm pasty, and my joints are hurting. I'm eating sugar. I'm stealing cinema buns. I'm eating Skittles. So, all right, so now I'm back down on the wean. I've been doing a thing on the old phone. I don't have my phone. Been counting calories, which has been working. 1,500 a day, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. If I cheat, if I steal a pack of Skittles or if I eat a cinnamon roll, I got to account for it in the numbers. Well, today's numbers, normally, coming here I go, I'm going to go, all right, I'm going to stop for a Starbucks. Because I like to stop for a good Starbucks, get my second wind, boom, boom, boom.
Because we're going in the evening. Like, we work all day.
Yeah.
Like, we work regular Joe jobs, and then we come and do this in the evening.
Yeah, so here, and I always get the 6:30, 7 o'clock dip. If I'm at home, I'm
that's usually after dinner, you're sitting down on the couch.
That's and my brain will wake back up about 8 o'clock, and then I'll be like, boom, I'll be tweaked until midnight. So it's fine, but
dude, that second wind, man, being a night owl.
Yeah, I was born that way. Yeah. I've always had the 7 o'clock dip. So I'm getting the 7 o'clock dip. Shoot ahead. I wanted a Starbucks today. Couldn't do it. Here's what I'm drinking. It was a long way to go around it. I went Red Bull.
Oh, Red Bull Blue.
Yeah, blueberry, which is pretty good. I don't like the normal Red Bull. I did in my drinking days. I like the regular Red Bull with vodka. Was always pretty good. Get you all fired up. But I don't drink anymore. I haven't been drinking the Red Bulls, and I was like, you know what? Today I'm going to try the Red Bull. It's awfully sugary. It's very sweet and
that's
like I feel like a layer on my teeth.
Yeah.
And this is the blueberry. And then I got for backup when this is almost done. I got one more gulp in this sumbitch. I got a tropical one, which this one is more like a grapefruity, and this is but the blueberry's pretty good.
Grapefruit. Oh my God, Jesus, that would cut through my stomach like a laser.
Well, yeah, you're susceptible to the refluxy.
Citric acid is just like.
Yeah, I don't get the reflux. I get the reflux on tomato stuff, anything red.
Definitely, I do that too. I don't eat the seeds.
Oh, is that what it's doing?
Yeah. I avoid it at all costs.
Like a spaghetti sauce will get me every time.
So you know what I heard cuts that acidity of the tomatoes is the sugar.
Well, go figure.
Well, I mean, I don't.
It's sugar.
I mean, well, because like, there used to be that restaurant Martussi's. I loved their sauce. It was very sort of sweet. It was like crack. I couldn't stop eating it.
Yeah.
And when I first moved out to Phoenix, my brother's girlfriend told me, she's like, oh yeah, you put sugar in the sauce and it cuts the acidity of the tomatoes.
Sure, but it also makes it sugary and sweet, and then you're addicted to sugar, and we're all.
Like I said, man, that Martussi sauce was like, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop eating.
I can tell you from experience, when I was full hardcore for those 2 years, especially during the pandemic, keto, you go through a withdrawal, but when you realize the sugar in everything, and when you have to eat even fruits that you'd go like, oh, I could eat a couple grapes. No, there's tons of sugar in them. Breads. Everything has sugar in it. It's mostly an American thing because we add sugar to everything. I mean, I guess if we lived in like Denmark, we probably wouldn't have, so much. But they inject it, and we're all sugar addicts, man. I think we're all, and that's why the United States. That's why we're all a little pasty and sickly, bloated. I know. But I'm a victim of my own demise. I've always been a sugar guy.
You and your family were like hardcore sugar addicts. I remember.
Like
growing up, like I remember Rome could kill like a bag of Doritos in a sitting. You would cream a box of cereal.
Yeah, I was a cereal guy. That was my thing. Yeah, I wasn't into salts and crunchies back then.
No, but I mean, dude, there were times I was over at your house and there was like, a couple of donuts left over in the microwave or something like that. It was like Dangerville.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've taken the empty box and shooken the crumbs into my mouth.
Actually, wasn't there one night where you and I were like going home from like a gig or something? It was like late at night, and we stopped at the grocery store like at 11:30. It closed at midnight. It was probably snowing, and you're going up and down the aisles. I was grabbing something so I could go home and eat because back then, like, I didn't know what made my stomach messed up, so I didn't eat all day, and which eating at night didn't help. And then you were like, I'm gonna buy the first box of cereal that says the word sugar on the front. And this was. And there was none.
Yeah,
we couldn't find any.
That's before. Yeah, when they used to be sugar smacks.
The best we got was sweetened.
Yeah, but they all had sugar. I mean,
when we were kids, that's what it was all about. There were sugar smacks. It was like double sugar. We got twice the sugar.
Yeah, short of cornflakes and
Kix.
Cheerios
Kix,
were about and Kix maybe. Yeah, Kix was pretty lame.
I didn't mind it though, you know what I mean? Because it was like that or granola or grape nuts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I like the grape nuts.
I hear the grape nuts. So I tried eating it once when I was a kid.
It's like gravel.
It is like gravel. I hear what you do is you put the milk in it, you let it sit, and then you microwave it a little bit.
I never thought of doing that.
And then it gets the milk sort of penetrating it, and it sort of breaks it down a little bit, and then it's much more yummy-ish.
Yeah, get that cream agitated.
Yeah. I'd heard that on some podcast.
I would always do sugar. Like we used to make sugar and cinnamon. So like we had a designated thing with sugar and cinnamon.
Like
so I would put that. And I'd put that on
so you
everything.
Could just make toast, butter it, and then go
Pre-made to the toast. Yeah, there wasn't 2 grabs about it. It was 1 grab. Totally separate from everything else.
Oh, I just made it up. Yeah, I would make like we didn't have that stuff, and I'd be like, how come we don't have that stuff? My dad's like, maybe that shit. I'm like, so I would just get one of those little glass dishes and put like, a couple spoonfuls of cinnamon, a couple spoonfuls of sugar, mix it up.
Oh, I would steroid my cereal with it. That's how I would take that. Like you get like honey grams or something like that, and then use the cinnamon sugar on it, and you're adding cinnamon to the honey, and like, or like take a peanut butter sandwich, and then put a little bit of cinnamon sugar on it. And then toast it. It'd be like, wow, it's like a pastry. It's like a redneck pastry.
That's probably, that's probably pretty nutty. I remember one time we were at my house. We were probably like 14 or something like that. You were probably like 15. And we were making sandwiches out of 2 Chips Ahoy's and vanilla frosting.
Wait, 2 Chips Ahoy's? Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember. I got you onto that. I was the one who was kind of, because you used to always have the Chips Ahoy. Your parents would bring you that, And I was like, we got to up the game here.
Chips Ahoy make me so fucking sick in my stomach.
Now they do.
No, even then. I didn't know.
They did then? Oh, yeah.
I didn't know. That's why my stomach was always jacked up, because I was fucking eating those goddamn
I
stupid
cheated
cookies.
on those about a month ago and ate a whole row of them out of the thing, and fucking, I was like, ugh, I was going to vomit.
Oh, yeah.
There's something weird in them. They're good going down, but boy, but I couldn't imagine the way we did it. We were putting frosting in there like little ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah, it was like an ice cream sandwich of fucking frosting. It was the Pillsbury dough, like right out of the fucking,
Cake frosting.
I used to come home all fucking messed up, and then I would like make cakes and shit.
Yeah.
Like I made a double-decker cake one time. My mom woke up and she's like, "Where'd that cake come from?" And I'm like, "I made it." And she's like, "What do you mean you made it?" I'm like, "I made the cake mix. I got it out of the fucking thing. I put the eggs in the oil. I mixed it up. I put it in the 2 pans. I baked them. I frosted it. Put the other one on top. Frosted it."
I remember us baking cookies. I don't remember us making cakes, but I do remember us baking cookies.
I made chocolate chip cookies all the time.
Yeah.
Because my mom would just basically just follow the Toll House recipe, but they would double sift the flour and stuff, the dry ingredients. And then, but my mom, when I was a kid, she never wanted to make cookies because she didn't like stirring the dough. It was too much work for her. So when I was like 9, I'm like, I'll stir the dough. You know what I mean? And then, so I was the dough stirrer, but then she was like, oh, I'm too tired to do with the ingredients and stuff. I'm like, give me the recipe. And I had the recipe, if you remember, taped on the inside of the cupboard door.
You did, yes.
So you open up the cupboard, there's the recipe right there.
That was the spice cupboard.
Yeah, or like the plates were there or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and I'd whip up chocolate chip cookies like willy-nilly.
Yeah. And in those days, we were smoking, we were doing the reefer. So, yeah, they were an extra treat when we were high and, and it's late at night, But, hey.
Dude, do you remember, like, Christmas time, my mom would make cookies?
I don't remember her making them. Your dad, Butch, he used to make them early in the morning before we get up. But I think, I remember there being Tupperwares full of weird, odd cookies, but I don't remember her making them.
She used to make those chocolate cookies. There was a chocolate cookie, and then she put vanilla frosting on it. Those fucking things were so goddamn good. She'd make a double batch. Like, I'd eat the whole fucking thing. We had, like, big plastic, round things, like, full of these little chocolate cookies with fucking white frosting on them. Oh.
She made them, your mom made them, and my grandmother made them too, which was I liked the Hershey Kiss right in the center of the sugar cookie.
Good. Yeah, those were good. Yep.
Industry standard.
Yep. I had no qualms with that.
Yeah.
It was like oftentimes it was a peanut butter cookie.
That's a bonus.
I have no problem with that.
No, not at all.
No objection, Your Honor.
No. Oh no. Oh no.
And even if it were just like a plain, like even the shortbread cookies with a little bit of frosting on it, the little pink frosting, it's shaped like
I'm all right with it.
like a stocking hung by the chimney with care. Great, cool.
Yeah, the only one I could not do, I can't do anything with anise. I hate pizzelles and shit. So anything that has that anise kind of flavor smell that ruins cookies.
That licorice.
Ugh. Yeah, no, I'm out. That, although my parents and grandparents caught on to that at an early age, so they'd be like, Dad would be bringing home pizzelles because he knew us kids wouldn't be tearing into them and eating them.
Well, my dad would do that too. Me and my brother did not dig Tootsie Rolls.
Oh.
My dad would get this bag full of Tootsie Rolls.
There
He'd be like, do we have any candy? I'm like, no, there's no candy around. He's eating Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
I think my brother got into it, but I was just like, I don't know. I was like a...
The Tootsie Roll I thought was pretty good, but I was always kind of like, I'm going to lose a filling on this fucking thing.
Isn't it just chocolate taffy?
Well, thicker. It's almost like, it's like hardened.
Holy shit.
It's way more petrified.
The taffy? Well, so it's like caramel. It's like chocolate caramel taffy.
But harder, way harder. And
Dude,
it was kind of like Charleston Chew.
Yeah. Like, I don't like caramel. I don't eat caramel stuff.
Yeah.
That shit sticks to my... My dad used to... You ever get just the chunk of caramel? It's just a cube of caramel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we used to eat those when I was a kid. And also, what were the other caramels that would have that weird white frosting? They were like...
It was like a swirl.
Well,
Had a galaxy
yeah,
swirl.
it was like a circular thing.
Yeah.
It was some like caramel circular thing, and then it had like this white creamy thing injected
Yeah, they weren't
into it.
bad. That was kind of like a grandma snack, but that was the best of the grandma snacks.
It was, but that...
Funeral home candy, but better. That was the first choice on the funeral home candy.
Yeah, especially if it tastes like it had been there for 2 months. You know? Ugh.
Yeah.
A little bit stale, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or from the bottom of a purse, you know?
Oh, yeah, that was the bottom of the purse from grandma's purse, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember my grandfather trying to pawn off fucking Rolaids on me like candy. Oh, here's a little Rolade.
Or like certs. Yeah. I definitely got the certs.
Oh, I got Rolaids, and he said they're just like Smarties. They're like giant Smarties. Just eat them up. And I was like, oh, I guess they are kind of like Smarties.
Speaking of Smarties, callback, fucking circle back around. Apropos of you fucking slurping down on that shit. So that Red Bull shit.
Yeah.
It has always just tasted to me like liquid Smarties.
They can, yes.
You know those little rolls of the little chalky sort of little candies, you know?
Yes, especially when you mix. It's funny when you mix alcohol with it. It almost turns it almost tastes like liquid Tricks.
But see, but that's why I don't like it. It's too much sugar for me.
Yeah, it is. It's way too much. But the vodka has a way of offsetting it in a weird way when you drink.
This is vodka and cranberry right here.
Yeah, if you take some Red Bull, vodka, and then a lot of ice, and then when that ice breaks down, it's pretty good. It's, I mean, that was kind of my jam, one of my jams back when I was a drinker, but I don't do that anymore. But yeah, the Red Bull's too. But I will say, pound for pound of all the energy drinks, Red Bull works every time.
Well, see, that's the other angle. Is I have never gotten any sort of reaction from caffeine that I notice.
You're not a coffee guy.
I'm not a coffee guy. I don't drink coffee at all. I don't like the smell of coffee. It's fairly nauseating to me. And like back when I used to drink soda, I could drink like a Coke and go right to sleep. It's not like it keeps me up or anything like that. I've never woken up in the morning and drank a Coke and then felt peppy. You know what I mean? If I drink a Coke in the morning, I've definitely had a lot of sugar.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, you have your sugary drink, but you're not a caffeine guy per se.
It's never really registered on my radar to me, so I'm always like, meh. But the sugar, definitely. I've had issues with that. Like when I was a little kid, in like preschool, they had to have a conference with my parents because I could not stay in my seat, like hyperactive. And I was even disruptive up through like 7th grade because I was just bored fucking school. But back when I was a little kid, turned out what it was my breakfast of blueberry and Tang.
Well, God, yeah.
Yeah, once they sort of put that together, and then they were also
that sounds good to think about. A glass of Tang and a bowl of blueberry sounds delightful right now.
Right, and then pretty much the only other thing I drank the entire day was root beer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's amazing your teeth are in such good shape, because 70s dental work was not what it used to be.
Well, my grandfather was a pharmacist, and so he prescribed fluoride to us. So we took fluoride pills when I was a kid.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
That's what helped with the teeth.
Yeah.
But they say that fluoride fucking like builds up like plaque over your third eye. The pineal gland. Remember like Reanimator and shit like that?
Well, all right, but what?
It's a thing in like mysticism, Buddhism, that sort of stuff like that. This idea of like the third eye.
Fluoride over the third eye? That sounds like some deep divey conspiracy fucking dark
it
web
is.
shit.
It is. I think it's this conspiracy theory stuff. So there's this conspiracy theory stuff that the fluoride that they put in our drinking water helps this calcification build up over our third eye or pituitary gland.
Keeping us unaware and not.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, so the government's doing, or like they're putting fluoride in the water,
right?
To keep your ability to see the world for what it is.
But you have nice teeth.
Oh, you do, yeah. Your dentist's pretty good, yeah.
And that's how they get it over on you. They're like, yeah, but you'll have a nice smile, you know.
Wow, man.
So
they are really good. They're getting really creative with this.
I've heard that.
That's a good one. I never heard that one, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, idiots. Yeah. We don't want to get dark, but yeah.
No, but they're idiots. But it's still hilarious. It's very inventive.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
Speaking of which, speaking of inventive, I got a topic here. I'm looking down at my little cheat sheet. As I go along during my day, if something pops in my mind that I'm like, this will be something fun to talk about on the podcast.
Okay.
I jot it down.
Lay it on.
I have all sorts of lists. This is just the podcast idea list. Mm-hmm. So I listened to KUPD morning show with Holmberg. He has comedians on every week because they're coming into Phoenix. They have a couple of fucking big clubs. They got the Tempe Improv.
Tempe Improv,
which
right.
is legendary. And then they have a new club on the north side up in Phoenix. I don't know if it's the north side. It might be downtown. I'm not quite sure. called Stand Up Live, which I hear is palace to stand-up comedy.
Yeah, and they're a franchise. Yeah.
Right. Well, the guy that owned the Stand Up Live did so well that he bought the Tempe Improv. So now it's all together.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Holmberg has the comedians in. Like, that's the first place I heard Bert Kreischer tell the fucking machine story.
Right.
So Pete Lee.
Oh, Pete Lee, yeah. Okay.
Pete Lee's a comedian. He was in there a couple weeks ago.
Pete Lee's fun.
He was talking, Holmberg, he's not like a regular DJ. He just gets in there and just talks shit. He's like, what's going on in your life? You got a girlfriend? What's happening? So Pete Lee brought up, Pete Lee goes, can we talk moon landing? Because Pete Lee's sort of like into conspiracy theories and shit. So he goes, can we talk moon landings? And Holmberg's like, let's do it. This is after they talk JFK, right? So Pete Lee goes, here's my thing. Pete Lee's whole thing breaks down to that the moon landing itself was real, but that this idea that we watched it live on video is fake.
Oh, well, there's a new movie coming out about that.
Is it?
Yes. In fact, I just saw a trailer for it like 2 days ago.
Did you?
With Scarlett Johansson's in it. And it's
basically,
basically, and Woody Harrelson, and the premise is that they were a film crew hired to make the fake moon landing thing just in case the footage didn't work out, and they're like a bumbling film crew of
Okay, because I could totally see where that would, totally feed into and lead credence to people going, oh, it was all fake, Spielberg shot in the studio, because clearly stuff was shot in a studio, But anyway, Pete Lee's idea is just that, because because he's like, who cares seeing it live? There's a delay on the transmission anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, even if we landed on the moon, they sent back the photo, great. We'll wait for the film. They'll be back in like 10 days, or whatever.
This is true.
So it's almost like inconsequential, but he said the technical achievement of transmitting the video feed from the moon was like the most Herculean task of the whole thing or something to that effect, I mean, he wasn't necessarily...
Especially in those days.
In those days, 68, 69 sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
It was black and white, though. But, yeah.
Those were black and white days. That was before we had color in real life.
Yeah, it would have been easier to fake in black and white.
Yeah, because I remember, the first couple of years that I went to school, it was all in black and white.
Yeah.
You were black, white, or gray. There was no color when we were kids.
Oh, yeah. The TV in my room when I was a kid was a black and white TV.
No, I meant school.
Oh. School was in black and white? Segregated?
Can you imagine?
What? Oh, if life really was black and white?
Right.
Haven't they made a movie about that? That's another one I think they made a movie like every time this...
Was that like Pleasantville with Spider-Man kid? Toby, what's it?
Yeah.
Not Toby.
Or like an old noir movie, Like everything has thick shadows and it's black and white.
I don't think younger people know what film noir is.
Really?
I barely know what film noir is. I mean, by the time we came along in the 80s, noir was like virtually an extinct genre. Nobody was doing that. We didn't watch noir.
Yeah, no. I just thought it was callback to like those old Private Eye, like the Humphrey Bogart Private Eye movie. that's all I was like, it's just a throwback to style.
Yeah, I suppose so. If you think of it just as just in general, it's a detective movie.
Right. That's what I was thinking. The old Gumshoe Private Eye.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies.
And the flatfoot coppers.
Yeah. And the hot lady comes in to give him a case.
Yeah, but apparently, there's more to it. This idea of because I haven't really seen a lot of these, because they're black and white and that sort of stuff. But I was thinking about digging around on HBO Max and seeing what they got in there, because I know they got some.
I think there's a whole new genre, and they're making animes that are noir based or a style. They're making a noir Spider-Man.
Oh.
I heard graphic
about that.
novel. Yes. So I mean,
so that's based off the Into the Spider-Verse alternate universe one, which was Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Is that live action? I heard that was going to be live action. With Nicolas
Cage.
Cage.
I think it's going to be like that. What was that Sin City, where it's kind of half and half, to where
Yeah.
That weird in between thing. Sin City was that?
Yeah. Sin City was they shot the actors in sort of a highly stylized sort of way, but then it was the backgrounds would be CGI or stuff like that.
Yeah, and it kind of moved and the backgrounds all kind of moved like a graphic novel.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the word noir means. You'd have to give it a goog there. I don't know.
I do.
Okay, what's the
I went
word
to film
noir?
school.
Noir. What does it mean?
Black.
Oh, that's it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Noir is French for black. Yeah.
Noir, please.
Yeah. Ninja. All right. But basically, so this idea was because we talked about cinematography, lighting the face, lighting it evenly. This side and this side are both lit the same. But if this side has more shadow on it, it gets to be like a 1 to.
Yeah, it's like a contrast thing.
It's a contrast thing. It's like a 1 to 2 ratio. If this side's a little bit more shadowy than this side. Yep. And then if it's dramatic, it's like 1 to 4. And if you get to like 1 to 8, it's like the old 1930s Frankenstein films, where it's almost like a black and white, like those German expressionism films.
Right.
In that sort of sense, in noir, they were using like that 1 to 8 ratio. But it was all metaphorical to the goodness of the characters. So in noir, none of the characters are good. It's like Sopranos.
Oh, right.
Like even
but the darker it would go, the more evil they were. So if the lovely angelic heroine was on the screen, she would be kind of lit up good. But then the evil guy, they'd show him, and he'd be like,
no. But it's like, yes, she's beautiful and alluring as the fair maiden or whatever the fuck, but she is the cause of the hero's downfall. She is the thing that drags him into this underworld that ultimately ends to his demise, sort of thing. So it's like every character is inherently flawed and bad to a certain degree. So even your central main character, because like the whole framing of noir would always start off with a guy going, like he's laying dead in the street with like his blood running down the street, and it's like, how did a guy like me end up here? I tell you, a dame walked in my office. And he goes back to the beginning and starts telling you,
Yeah.
So it's all sort of Sunset Boulevard was a very famous movie that started like that with a dead starlet in the pool.
Okay.
And then it sort of like rewound the last like 18 hours to explain what happened to how it came to this state of affairs or whatever, Well, that sort of, but that was the whole thing of noir. And like Naked City was a noir movie. I just know a couple of names, but I started poking around on HBO Max, and they got a lot of Hitchcock stuff in there. So I was like, I haven't seen a lot of Hitchcock. So, and I'm not sure if Hitchcock did noir stuff, but Hitchcock's been making movies. His earliest couple of movies on Max are silent. Huh. Yeah, he made movies all through that period, from like the 20s to the 60s.
When you think about it, like to do a movie with no dialogue, like sometimes, like that was always my complaint. Like you could pick up on a hokey movie because there's too much talking. In real life, we don't talk. We talk a lot, but there's a lot of innuendo without talking. But it's like in real life, you don't go, I would have got away with it if you crumb bums weren't in the way. You wouldn't say that.
You know who does that a lot is the British. Those British movies.
Yeah.
It's all about the innuendo, the subtext, and then at the end of the scene, if something happens, they go, like people walk out and then they just go to the one person, they're like,
I'm okay with that. I want more of that.
3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you go, oh shit, what just happened,
If I had to make a movie, I definitely would lean on the side of semi-silent. Let's get rid of all that dialogue.
Well, that is the thing in like filmmaking and especially cinematography is like, don't tell it, show it.
Yeah.
Which, to sort of divert for a second, in terms of like fucking show it and don't tell it, goddamn House of the Dragon.
Oh, are we talking again? Oh, the new Game of Thrones. Okay.
Yeah, House of the Dragon, the hot D.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned to you, the goddamn Corlys Velaryon. His whole storyline. Look, if you want me to care about the goddamn Velaryons, show me the goddamn Velaryons. Apparently, he's some badass sea captain. I haven't seen it. Apparently, he had some grand battles on the sea. I didn't see him. Apparently, he got injured and captured and had to be nursed back to health. I didn't see it. How am I supposed to care about this character?
Is he the one that
Rome and I talked about this yesterday.
Is he the noir fellow with the white dreads?
Yes.
Right?
He's the one that was like away for like 6
Yeah, and he was fighting the crab people.
For like 6 years.
Yeah, he was like in the
he
first.
Was gone.
Yeah, he was fighting the crab people, and that crab guy that.
Like if they're gonna be if the Velaryons over there on what the hell's the place that they're from? If they're gonna be a big part of the story, involve them. Show me.
I know, unless it's.
Don't just tell me like, oh, he got injured.
Well, here's an idea. Maybe they're just leaving the room open for a backstory or something like that. That would be kind of fun.
So apparently,
He's an interesting character. He is actually kind of one of the more like ones that pique my interest. Like, wow, this guy's kind of cool.
because we don't know.
Well, we don't know, you know. Yeah,
It's a mystery.
yeah.
Well, so in the most recent episode, I believe, episode 2, season 2, you saw it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there's a scene where that dude is down by the harbor and like his ship is getting overhauled. It's kind of a cool shot because the front of the ship looks good, the back half of the ship still looks like they just dredged it from the bottom, right? So in that picture, 1,000 words, they're refurbishing the ship. Cool, get it. Yeah. He starts talking to the dude on the shore about getting stuff done, right? And there's sort of like a weird tension between the two. I hear you're the guy that saved me. So there's a YouTube channel called Emergency Awesome.
Okay.
Dude on there, Charlie, does the breakdown of all the stuff.
Okay.
Watch the Emergency Awesome breakdown.
All right.
And I don't know if this is from the books. Maybe it's from the books. That guy that he was talking to is apparently one of his bastard sons.
Oh, well, they left that one out. That's a pretty important detail, wouldn't you think?
And then there's another guy in the episode that pops up randomly that apparently factors in a lot later on in the whole thing. So it's like...
Oh, I was thinking he tied in with the homosexual guy. Remember the homosexual guy? I thought he was the boyfriend of
Rhaenyra's husband.
Right, I thought,
Who they conspired like, oh, okay, you're dead, get on out of here.
Right, I thought he tied into that, and therefore that's why he didn't acknowledge him. That's how I was reading it.
I think he's going to be the, Gandalf coming from the east on the third day sort of thing. I think he's going to be the wild card that when everything looks bleak at the end. Now, I didn't read the book, I don't know. If people are out there that read the book, they're like, you're a dumbass, you don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, not everyone watches the Game of Thrones either. We do.
Well, yeah. Wait. Oh.
I know.
Dude.
It's one of those things, you gotta almost, you either watch it or you don't. It's kind of like knowing Star Wars or not knowing Star Wars.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never watched that first season.
Oh, no. Yeah, I started the season 3 on.
You missed all the good stuff.
I caught up.
No. Oh, so much goodness. There's so much goodness. All right, the first season's a little bit rough. I'll grant you. But you don't even know who Eddard Stark is.
Yeah. I mean...
I know people. I know. Like, he doesn't... Sean Bean's performance as Eddard Stark, like, exemplifies who the Starks are. And the stuff that happens in that first series, the first, as the British call it, the first season, as we call it, is everything that happens over the next 3 to 5 seasons.
True.
You know?
True.
Like, remember when you find out later, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, stop watching. 2, 1. You know how later you find out Littlefinger was behind everything?
Yeah.
This is all the shit that he pulled off back then.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun.
Who's Littlefinger? No, I know.
You're the worst.
I know Littlefinger. So yeah, I know. Well, but I like the House of the Dragon. I like the pacing. I think it's pretty good. But you're right. They're leaving out backstories.
Backstory. It's current story.
Yeah, in lieu of maybe this good pacing that I'm enjoying the pacing. But you're right. They're leaving important holes. My thought is maybe there's either they'll pick it up later on.
Well, it's like they're giving the Valerians short shrift. They're not showing them. They're not showing us what's happening with them. We're sticking with Rhaenyra and Alicent. Okay, cool. Then Rhaenyra and Alicent is where the action's at. Great, the Valerians are there, but they're not really central germane to what's happening here. Or are they? Like one or the other. Pick a lane. Yeah. I don't know.
Orb of Truth.
No
We
one
need
can
a lane.
No one can see the Orb of Truth if I'm on.
Oh, you can't see the Orb of Truth? Well, the Orb of Truth.
There you go.
There's the Orb of Truth. All right.
That thing looks great on screen. It looks like the fucking Lochnar. I love it. From Heavy Metal.
Oh, yeah. Heavy Metal.
That was the whole through line of Heavy Metal was the Lochnar. It was just evil.
It was
incarnate.
big in some stories, and others it was a pebble.
The size of a pebble, yeah.
Which I like that.
Oh, that was great. When you like,
didn't you and I and Jones watch that? We were tripping on a microdose or on liquid acid at the midnight movies watching that.
And
I was frying my brains out.
And it was the fully unrated version. Wait, let me make sure I'm in frame. Unrated version.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene where that badass battle chick that flies that
Came out of the water.
She comes out of the water.
And Jones yelled out in the middle of silence.
She comes out of the water. All the water drains down. It's like beautifully animated. And there's a close-up of her hips. I don't know if it was...
It was Beeve.
I don't know if it was from the front or the back.
Yeah, I think it was back Beeve. I think it was her back, but you could see her Beeve and the,
Yeah,
you know,
it was like
and
the ass cheeks went up, and then it was like the vulva went down, and all the water comes down and drips off it. And Jones yells out,
"Her pussy's dripping!" And the whole place erupts.
The three of us are in the back fucking row, midnight movie, up at the mall. Oh my God.
But we were fried. Yeah, I remember the part with the taxi driver thing in there, and I was like fully peeking during the taxi driver's part, you know,
because it's so sort of scrappy drawn.
Right.
It really is. Actually, I haven't watched it in a long time. Is that a precursor to The Fifth Element? Because
it's very Fifth Element-ish.
Because Heavy Metal was like a French magazine or something, wasn't it?
Yes, it was around when I was a kid. I remember it being there. I don't know if it was French, but it might. We had an American version. I know it was out. It was definitely out in the.
I think it was
80s.
It was a French art magazine, and I think that Fifth Element started off as like, you know how like Playboy used to have authors that would write, you know.
Yeah.
So I think in these like Heavy Metal was like an art sci-fi magazine. They had a guy write a story, and the guy did the artwork for it.
I can see it.
And that's what ended up being Fifth Element, because that taxi driver guy thing, it was with some blonde chick, her tits are falling out or something, or am I thinking of Fritz the Cat? I can't remember.
Yeah, and he was kind of like I think he was shooting some kind of weird drug, and then he was flying in the taxi. He couldn't get it together. His rent was due, and then he picked up this girl. Yeah, I forget. It's
been a long time,
yeah.
And that's one of those movies that's sort of like hard to find on streaming or shit, because like the ownership is questionable. Like, who does own that movie?
I heard it was hard because of the
music clearances.
The music clearances. Yes, because it was based a lot on music, and there's different labels on that back catalog.
I had the soundtrack on vinyl.
Yes.
Back when I was a kid.
Yeah, and I'm thinking if it's hard to find on a screen on a watch, it's probably because of music publishing.
Probably, yeah. I mean, maybe it's somewhere. I just don't know. I never really looked it up, but yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one. But that was a cool flick.
Yeah.
And my favorite scene is with the two alien dudes snorting the plutonium Nyborg.
Oh, plutonium Nyborg, yeah, we laughed at that one.
Yeah, they're flying that weird egg-shaped ship. Well, so that whole sequence of the egg-shaped ship, when it first shows up and rescues whoever from the planet, I forget, some hot chick or something. When it first shows up on the planet, it's playing that intro to that Cheap Trick song.
Oh, yeah.
It's that Cheap Trick song, Ain't That a Shame or something? It was, you guys used to cover it like way back when I was like 15.
But they had a weird intro.
But that intro was like, dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
You know, and it was like a real dramatic thing. That was a cool bit of music. And then they pick up the chick or whatever, they fly up into space, they start laying out the plutonium Nyborg and snorting it. And they play this song by Don Felder called All of You.
Yeah, right. It was the second Don Felder because he has a couple on that soundtrack.
Well, Donald Fagen is on there.
Donald Fagen.
Yeah, this is the Don Felder song called All of You. But he might have had a second song on there. You might be right.
Eagles. Eagles Don Felder.
Yeah, Eagles Don Felder, yeah, apparently. Not sure what he does. But he was a guitar player? I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's a
real Hotel California. He was that guy.
Well, I mean, yeah, they all were. I mean, Glenn Fry and fucking Don, the drummer, and
yeah,
Timothy B.
Well, but that whole soundtrack is beyond. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so didn't Sammy Hagar have two songs on there?
He had Heavy Metal, dude.
He had the Heavy Metal song.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. All right.
He had the song Heavy Metal.
Yeah. Which I love that song. When I heard that when I was like 9 or something.
I mean, I liked it as a rough and tumble teenager.
Well, I mean,
but
think back to like when you were like 8 or 9. Like the first time I heard that, I was like, well, I think we talked about it before in an older episode. Like, my brother had the 45 of Beth, and on the backside was Detroit Rock City.
Sure.
When I was 6, I heard Detroit. I don't know why, but I sort of loved it. Right.
Right.
Same thing with what the fuck were we just talking about?
Cheap Trick.
No. The Sammy Hagar.
Oh, Heavy Metal.
The Heavy Metal song.
Right.
Oh my.
Yeah, he had that song. I mean,
Did he have 2 songs on that album?
I don't know if
The Heavy Rail side?
it was.
But at the same time,
only
he
One
had-
Way to Rock on there, or was
No,
it?
no, that was 85. That was Voice of America. It was, before that, he had 3 Lock Box was on MTV.
Yeah, that was before the I Can't Drive.
That was, that was, Voice of America was I Can't Drive 55.
Yeah, he was fresh out of Botro.
That was so big.
Yeah,
Well,
Three
no,
Lock
didn't
Box.
he have one, he had a couple solo albums before he went, like that VOA was huge. I Can't Drive 55 and all that shit.
He had that one song that he wrote for Rick Springfield, that Rick Springfield made more popular than he had it.
I did everything for you.
You're right.
That doesn't sound like Rick Springfield.
You're right,
It has that
that's
sort
Sammy
of
Hagar.
driving
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar thing. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, I think Sammy did it, and it didn't quite catch on, but it was in that same era.
The Aldo Nova era. I remember that. That was about when I first started playing guitar. I used to sit there on Friday nights with my little...
I think I learned that one on guitar at one point.
What?
I've done everything for you. Bar chord version. Yeah, I learned the bar chords.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You know what? I saw a thing on YouTube the other day they were talking about it. And you know what? Pound for pound, like, I wasn't into him, but you and I were at the concert back in the day. Cinderella, Tom Kiefer.
Oh yeah. We saw the Long Cold Winter one. The big white
Long
piano
Cold Winter
came
one.
out
Yep,
of the ceiling.
Yep. Yeah, they had the snow coming down.
Yeah.
Was that the one with Badlands?
No, I think they had Bullet Boys.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Bullet Boys, but they didn't show.
No, they showed.
No, they didn't play.
Yeah, they were there. Yeah, something. Yeah, but it was Bullet
You
Boys,
said
and there was something
you
in the
told me
middle.
that you heard from somebody that they got into town and the singer got fucking a bunch of coke and he fucking coked his throat away.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Cooked out his voice.
There's always rumors going around then.
But I heard an interview with that singer for Bullet Boys later. It's totally fascinating, man. Apparently that guy's like a guitar player. That was the only band he ever sang in.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
There was who's the third band on that one though?
Yeah, it was Cinderella. No, it wasn't Badlands. No, it was Cinderella. It wasn't Brittany Fox. It wasn't Girl School.
I mean, was it Rat?
No. It wasn't Rat. Was it Poison? Cinderella Poison.
Or Tesla. Could have been Tesla. Because we've seen Tesla like 6 times.
No, I remember the Tesla one. The Tesla one was, I think, the Badlands one, because we were 6th row left-hand side. We were in front of Greg Chason, the bass player for Badlands, and we were in front of the dark-haired guitar player for Tesla.
Yeah.
Because he was doing like a guitar solo thing, and he was fucking pulling on his whammy
we've
bar,
seen
and
many
it fucking
I've
broke
seen
and
Tesla
shit.
multiple.
Oh, did you? I only saw him
yeah.
that one time.
Yeah, they did like Def Leppard and Poison. I've seen multiple times too back then.
Yeah, I think I saw Def Leppard back then.
I don't know who opened for Cinderella, but Cinderella was surprisingly really good.
Well,
They
that
were a
was
little
the thing.
goofy on the visual, but I mean they sounded good. They were like Aerosmith, you know. They had that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And every song's a hit.
That was the thing. I saw this YouTube video, man, and fucking I was like, oh yeah, that song. Oh yeah, that song. Oh yeah, that song. Oh yeah, that song. And I'm like, it's like 8 songs. They haven't even gotten to goddamn Gypsy Road yet, which I'm like, I remember that song. Gypsy Road, come take me home. You know, it wasn't my cup of tea. But holy shit, they laid out the songs, man. And then I see that dude's touring around.
Oh yeah, he's been the Tom Kiefer band, yeah.
Yeah. He's playing around. He's doing a gig with Lita Ford, and God bless Lita Ford. I've always liked Lita Ford.
Still cooking.
I
They're old,
respected
but
her.
they're
She's
still
solid. I mean, I didn't really buy the albums or anything like that, except she had the one song, Out for Blood. I used to like that one.
I always thought Lita Ford was a little. I liked her being there, but I was never a huge fan. But
No, same thing. Did you
was
ever
glad
see
she's
that
there.
Joan Jett documentary that was on like Hulu or something like that?
No, I meant to see that though.
If you get a
she's
chance,
always
watch
interested
it. It's a really good documentary.
I like
mean,
her because she's a little more punk rock and a little bit more indie.
She is fucking great. You watch that documentary, you're like, you know what? She was born to be a fucking rock and roll star.
Oh yeah, she's a real deal.
Yeah, real deal all the way through. She's never changed anything, but she sort of fucking hobbled herself in her career advancement because of this boyfriend producer guy or something like that. I don't know. Watch the documentary, but it's really good. But speaking of which, Hulu documentary shit. Did you see like 2 years ago, they had on Hulu a series about the Sex Pistols called Pistol?
No, I didn't see. I knew it was there. I meant to watch it, but I never got around to it.
Apparently it is gone.
Would they yank it? Did John Lydon go, "Fuck you"? Cease and desist.
So it was directed by Danny Boyle, the guy who did 28 Days Later, Trainspotting, that sort of shit.
Legit.
I loved this series. I thought, you know, how oftentimes the music shit is like, you know, you watch that Def Leppard story on VH1 and it's like these guys are faking it, they're not really playing. I think they were really playing.
Yeah.
I think the recording is like live in the room.
Wow.
Like, you know, and not like they're good, but
No, Sex Pistols
but
are
they're
fucking
doing
terrible.
it. And that's the whole point is the dude
Yeah.
learns how to play guitar and those sort of.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I found this series, I love this series. It was so goddamn good. I was like, fuck it. And I'm not a Sex Pistols fan.
No, God, no.
But it was just, man, it was so rock and roll. I love this thing. Anyway.
All right, we'll look out for it.
Yeah, it was on Hulu.
There's a couple recs, so we got a few recs for these people. We got everything from Joan Jett to the Sex
Joan Jett
Pistols.
documentary on Hulu.
We got the heavy metal movie. We're recommending any noir bullshit to figure out what the hell that is. Anything, but...
Yeah, oh, sorry, disclaimer, like, I myself, my own podcast and shit, yeah, it's pretty much movie-based. Yeah, I'm a movie dork, so.
You'll have that.
I'm a movie dork, and I get obsessed about shit like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Sherlock Holmes. Go down the rabbit hole on this shit.
Sure.
You started me on the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Well, those were the early books when I was a teenager. I was reading those, you know.
And I remember you reading that shit when we were kids. Yeah, and because it was like Lord of the Rings and Dungeons and Dragons had been like sort of conflated by the parents fearing.
Oh yeah, they thought we were all Satan worshipers.
The satanic panic shit.
Oh yeah.
It's hysterical.
Oh yeah, that was the satanic panic of the early '80s.
Do you still have Netflix?
Huh?
Do you have Netflix?
Of course I do. Yeah.
Okay, we got rid of Netflix. There was a little series on Netflix about David Berkowitz, son of Sam. Killer.
Okay. Yeah.
It was like a 4 or 6 part series
Okay.
called Summer of Sam.
Right. That sounds familiar.
Watch this.
I think I might have watched a few of those. That sounds very familiar.
Dude, I found it fascinating. Number one, we're talking about the son of Sam shit and this investigative reporter guy who was investigating it all. And really, if you look at it, it is not Berkowitz. For the early descriptions of fucking all this. Like,
Oh, right. They throw you off the trail like this can't be Berkowitz.
and then by the 3rd or 4th episode, you're delving into. So that whole satanic panic thing, like from our point of view, we're like, this is silly. Our parents are getting wrapped around the axle by media. It was actually a thing.
Yeah.
And they start delving into it. And it's like, holy shit, it was a thing.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
it was totally a thing.
Like
Yeah.
back in the 70s, like, I didn't know. Like when we were kids, how many times did you stumble across something that might have been some sort of satanic sacrifice site?
I mean, there's been a couple times when you're building something, a fort in the woods, and then all of a sudden you come across like a giant pentagram, and
Yeah,
you go,
pentagrams,
hey,
some
look, a
melted
pentagram.
candles. Yeah.
Dance around in it. Oh, take a piss, leave. Yeah,
Dude,
it's
the
like,
70s, man. You want to see the 70s? Watch the Bad News Bears. Like, it was like, good luck, kid. You're on your own, buddy.
yeah. I think I was just too oblivious to pick up on.
That's the thing.
How close we could have been to something sketchy.
All around us.
you know?
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 70s was definitely keep your head on a swivel sort of time period.
But I know I was on autopilot oblivious. I could have totally been.
I mean, our whole generation was what they call the latchkey kids, because our
Yeah.
parents were like, here's a key, let yourself in after school,
Yeah.
don't burn the house down.
Yeah, how
Dude.
far I rode on my bike was phenomenal. For an 8-year-old of where I rode, I can't even believe.
Yeah, I remember riding all the way from our houses up in the suburbs, up on Mineo, all the way down to the fucking music stores on 26th Street.
Oh, yeah. Or
Which
the
actually,
peninsula.
in hindsight, is not that hard to ride to, because it's all downhill. It was goddamn getting home that killed me.
Yeah. And that's when we're like walking our bikes in the dark.
In the dark. yeah. Up like Route 8.
And out of a
when the-
joke, we might have gone, put the thumb out, let's hitchhike.
Yeah,
You know,
nobody's picking us up. Like, you know, like if we had like long hair, they might pull over and then they see like, you know, like you're a guy, and then fucking, you know.
Yeah, no. Have you ever hitchhiked?
No, I never tried. Dude,
No, I know.
hitchhiking is like the ultimate trust test.
Yeah, I hitchhiked when I didn't want my dad to find out that I was at detention, so I'd have to walk home from school. You guys were all gone. I had detention.
I had that one time. I
Yeah.
had that one time. I had detention, and I had to walk home from MIHS.
Yeah.
And you and I didn't live too far from each other. How did you go? Which route?
I went up Zook Road.
Yep. So
and
did I.
over Grandview.
Up over Grandview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
'cause you lived
hitchhiked,
off
but
there.
I remember some like.
'Cause I went up Zook and I went across.
Some McDowell mother, like a housewife mother picked me up.
I went across Interchange Road. I remember going across by Interchange Road by the mall there, and it was raining, and somebody driving by and honking at me like they knew me.
Oh yeah, there was
And I
always
was like,
somebody
"You
honking,
dick!"
like a car full of jocks. Shithead, fucker.
No, it wasn't shithead fucker. It was like, hey, it's Mike. What's up, Mike? Bye.
Yeah, see you
I
home.
was like, you dick.
Yeah, keep walking, keep walking.
Keep walking. I made it to the mall. I just went in the mall. I think I called my parents or something.
Yeah. In those days, I didn't mind walking in a weird way because I was in fairly okay shape. My shoes were, and
I didn't mind the walking, but it was pouring rain.
Yeah, I've walked in the rain many times. Yeah, it was just the thing you just did. I liked it. It kind of I just thought you think to yourself, you start talking out loud. All right,
Dude,
so anyway,
how many times growing up did we have to? Because I walked to school. Mm-hmm. You grew up over there off Mill, same as me. Yeah. We walked to fucking Chestnut Hill and we walked to J.S. Wilson.
Yeah.
I remember one time going to fucking J.S. Wilson and I thought, oh, I'll cross the soccer fields. They were like flooded. By the time I got to school, the cuffs of my pants were frozen. They were like bells.
Oh yeah,
like dangling around my ankles.
What time is it? What do we got on time?
All right, it's 8:43. It's been 50 minutes.
I think we can almost wrap it. Although before
we can 100% wrap it. But let's put a steak in it, put a cork in it, put a butt plug in it.
Real quick before we go, we're gonna stump Mike. I got one quick question.
Okay, wait. Give a setup. What is this? What are we doing?
Well, it's this fun little game called I Should Have Known That. But we're gonna say I should have known that. But we're gonna rename it. We're gonna call it Does Mike Know That?
Okay, I am widely known for knowing a little bit about a lot of shit. But every time people try and lay it on me to impress somebody with my knowledge, I don't know as much as they think I do.
Yeah, Mike's your phone a friend if you're on a game
Actually,
show.
back in the day, back me up on this. Before IMDb, I was IMDb, was I not?
Yeah, or a version thereof, yes.
You guys would call me up and be like, who was the... I know Rome would call me up and be like, who was the guy in the thing? And I'd be like, I'd tell him.
Who was the mom in Fargo? What was she in before that? And you'd go, oh, so-and-so. And you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Mason Adams. All right.
Okay. What is the Amsterdam district of De Wallen most commonly known as?
The red light district.
That's easy. I know.
Easy. That's easy.
All right.
All right.
What is the clothing worn by surgeons and other medical professions? That's easy.
Scrubs.
That's easy. I know.
Okay. So wait. So my girlfriend and I have a Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit.
Oh boy.
We will come over and play it with your girlfriend.
Yeah, she's into it, but
any
I'm not.
day. I know, and my girlfriend really isn't either. She only knows a little bit. But you and my girlfriend could team up, put your girlfriend on a team, put me on a team. When me and my girlfriend play, she has to answer one question on the card. I have to answer all 6 correctly.
Oh, there we go.
This is starting to feel like that.
Yeah, well, these next 2 are pretty goddamn easy, and we'll wrap it up on this. What kind of animal is a gecko?
Reptile?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this one's even easier. Jeez, this game stinks. Okay, daisies and brownies are the first 2 membership levels of what organization?
GSA, Girl Scouts of America.
I know,
That's it?
That's lame. Okay, wait, let me try to stump you.
All right.
I'm going to
pull one from the back.
Random
See if it's
pull.
harder.
Huh.
There was this other Harry Potter video trivia game. It was like this, where we were like, these are the easiest questions. This is for like 6-year-olds.
Yeah, this is fucking easy. What is the most populous city in Canada with French as the official language?
Oh, Quebec.
Or city?
Toronto. Oh, Montreal. Sorry.
There we go. There, see?
Sorry,
I'm right.
Quebec's a province.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Mike knows everything.
Sorry.
But they're all easy stuff. All right.
Sorry, my Canadian brother.
So I'll have to get something better than I should have known. That this should be called, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that should be called, any 10-year-old should know that.
Yeah, this should be called No Shit Sherlock.
Honestly, if you got a fucking no shit Sherlock quiz, I would actually do better. Okay. My girlfriend's into like healing stuff, so she has tarot decks. One time for a gift, she got me a Sherlock Holmes tarot deck.
Okay.
Tarot decks work on interpretation, right, of what the information is, right? It could be one of 6 things, depending on, how you're feeling, blah, 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 whatever. So she gets the Sherlock Holmes deck. She goes to give me a tarot reading with the Sherlock Holmes deck. She doesn't know any of it. She can't make hide nor hair out of it. She's like, I don't know. It says the Red-Headed League, and I'm like, oh, the Red-Headed League, Jabez Wilson. They ran an ad in the paper, and she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, but I know.
Oh,
and she's like, okay, as long as you know.
Fucking Mike, Sir Arthur Conan Anderson.
Oh my God, yeah.
Mr. Doyle.
LibriVox.org.
All right, what's that?
LibriVox is books on tape that are in public domain,
Oh, that's fun.
which include all the Sherlock Holmes stuff, all the Bram Stoker stuff, all the Mary Shelley stuff, all the H.G. Wells stuff, all the...
Hey, dumb question. What's a liver box?
LibriVox.
Oh, Libra.
L-I-B-R-I, like a library, and then V-O-X, like voice.
I thought you said liver box. A
well,
liver?
Well,
No one
honestly,
eats liver anymore.
V's and B's are like this, and in Spanish, they're actually reversed. So if you see a B in Spanish, it's pronounced V, and if you see a V in Spanish, it's pronounced B. I know. Lochnar, it will make you cease to exist.
Orb of truth. All right. Shlicketty DooCast. We're out, yo.
Yep, that's it. It's 48. We're about 4 minutes from being an hour. Again.
Noir.
Again.
Noir, please.
Galaxy Crew.